Hello and welcome to the class again. So, we will be starting, we will be continuing, in fact, our chapter ahead, where we have left out in our previous lectures, that is minerals and power resources, chapter number 3. Okay. So, in this chapter, we will be continuing about the next major point. We have already discussed about the minerals in this chapter. Now we will be discussing about the power resources. Okay. See, as far as this topic, we have studied many a times in the science lectures also. In the science also, we have seen these topics. Power resources are broadly classified into two categories. One is conventional power resources and one is non-conventional power resources. In the first go, we will be discussing about the conventional power resources, means the power resources which are easy to use. Okay, and we are using those resources because of our requirements in which we need the power. So let's go. Firewood is again, firewood is, sorry, one of the first category in the conventional fire resources. Firewood is a simple thing which is being collected from the forest and the green areas, the jungles, where the wood is being cut down and collected for burning in the forest areas and in the rural areas, village areas. The next very common source of power is coal. Coal is also often called as buried sunshine. Coal mines are very frequent almost everywhere around the world. Okay. Uh, Coal is also called as what? What I have just now said is buried sunshine. It is easy to use, easy to carry, and yeah, it's a bit smoky, but anyhow, it's cheap also. So it serves various purposes. In earlier days, we were running our steam engines, our railway engines through the coal only. And currently, also, many of the factories, many of the industries are using coal as their main power resource. Okay. Now, the next modern method of conventional power resources, next modern source is petroleum. Petroleum, my dear class, it's found in the selected areas of the world. It's not found everywhere. Means it is available everywhere, but naturally petroleum occurs in the selected areas. Usually in the rocky valleys. Okay, where there are drifts. Fine. It is also termed as black gold since it's very, useful for everybody. In almost every country, every part of the world, petroleum, yeah, its products are used. It is also found in the coastal areas, like in our India. Bombay is one of the best example for that. Petroleum products, of course, the popular petroleum products are diesel, kerosene, petrol. Okay, apart from that, wax, plastic, lubricants are also the, you know, output here byproduct of petroleum. The leading countries which are producing petroleum products are Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar. Apart from these Middle East countries, the other countries which are producing petrol are USA, Russia, and Algeria. As far as India is concerned, India is also producing petrol. The major three refining station, yeah, extracting station, rather I should say, are Digboi in Assam, Bombay High in Bombay, and deltas of Krishna and Godavari rivers. Okay. Now the fourth conventional source of energy, yeah, power is natural gas, like CNG. You guys are hearing, it's compressed natural gas. The leading countries which are producing these type of gases: Russia, Norway, Netherlands, and UK. As far as India, our country is concerned, Jaisalmer, one of the district of Rajasthan, border district of Rajasthan, surrounded by the deserted area, it is producing this type of gas. Deltas of again Krishna and Godavari, and one of the northeast state, that is Tripura, is a leading producer of natural gas in India. Now coming to the next scenario of power resources, conventional power, that is through hydel power. That is by building the dams, by building the big dams. Dams, as you know, they are generating electricity with the help of water. Okay. The leading countries which are using this type of form of power resources are Paraguay, Brazil, Norway, China. Okay. These are the countries which are using their Hydel resources, yeah, you can say their water resources, their rivers, their canals intelligently and more efficiently to produce electricity, yeah, other type of powers. Okay. In India, there are many examples of dam, hydel power projects like Bhakrarangal Dam, okay, Hirakud Dam, and many others are mentioned in the books as well. So this is the first part of the power resources in which we have discussed about the conventional power resources that are easy to use. Yet they are a bit expensive, but they are easy to use. Okay, now we will be discussing in the same video about the what non-conventional power resources within a minute. Okay, class. Now we'll be discussing our rest of the part of the chapter. We have already discussed in this earlier the conventional resources of power. Now we will be just taking a glance on the non-conventional power resources. What are these non-conventional power resources? That were usually means they are not so easy to retain. Okay, you can't retrieve them and restore them so easily as you can do in conventional power resources. So the first one is solar power energy. Solar power energy is, you know, as the name suggests, it's very easy to use. We can access solar energy anywhere, but it's still the, restoration of that energy is not so easy. So the countries which are, already frozen up, which are in the cold area, there this solar energy is not of much benefit. So the countries which are near to the equator, the tropical countries which are having a hot weather, this type of energy is very beneficial for them. The next type of energy is wind energy. Okay, wind energy is being used in the areas where the winds and storms are in surplus. Fine, like in the areas of Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, UK, USA, and Spain. Where the wind is in surplus, we are building high towers. On those, we are constructing big fans. By the help of those fans are moving with the help of wind, and by those fans, what is being done? Turbines are being moved. The electricity is being generated. Now, the next category is nuclear energy. Nuclear energy, in this, the process of fission takes place. Fission and fusion, when two atoms are separated or de-separated from each other. So the energy is being released. It's a chemical process. This type of nuclear energy is being used in USA and Europe as a leading country. You can say nuclear energy as atomic energy also. It is being termed in the same way. In India, it is being used in the states of generated in the states of Rajasthan, Jharkhand, Kerala. Jharkhand area and Rajasthan area are using uranium deposits for making nuclear energy. And in Kerala, the thorium metal is used. It's a radioactive metal by which the fission takes place. Okay, the next type of energy is tidal energy. In the tidal, we are using the high sea tides for generating the power. Okay, this type of energy is used in Russia basically as a leading user of this particular type of energy. In India, we are using this type of energy. We are generating this type of energy from Gulf of Kutch. Okay, near the area of Gujarat, the coastal areas. The next and the last category, of course, the France is also one of the major user of this tidal energy. Now in the last category, that's biogas. Okay, biogas is a very common term that is being heard and listened in India. It's a mixture of methane and CO2. This gas is basically used for, cooking purpose, cooking and other domestic purpose. Fine, this is almost a, zero smoke emission gas, yeah, zero smell gas. It's very almost odorless and having a low quantity of smoke. So, my dear students, these were the some examples of non-conventional source of energy. One of the example, I think it's left out. We will discuss it. Will You can read it by your own, and if there is any clarity to be required, you can ask it to me. So that's it. That's all for the video today. I think we are already in the completion of the chapter. Now, with this particular video, your chapter number 3, mineral and power resources, goes complete. Thank you and have a nice day.